Okay, I'm Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls, and I want to teach you a few things. There's a lot of people that are suffering. You don't have to be one of them. There's a lot of people that are not doing well in life, career, and or personal. You don't have to be one of them. What we want to do is practice and possibly reach out to somebody like me that's a life coach. The one thing that I really want you to focus on is your communication skills. Yep, communication skills. In my sessions, a lot of times I'll ask them a question and they'll say, I don't know. It's like, well, you damn straight, you know. You just may not be able to access your real truth. You may be a little too afraid to speak your mind. But most of the time, the majority of the time, you know what you want. And so to become an excellent communicator is to be able to stand up and show up, access yourself, and then speak your truth. If you and I were going to go out to lunch and I say, what do you want to eat? I don't know. I don't care. We're adults. I want you to care. I want you to have an opinion. Because if I have to come up with the decisions all the time, I'm never going to get to know you. And at work, so many people, they get gun shy, they get worried, they get conserved, they get insecure. Anxiety starts to show up. And actually at work, I don't even really care where you work at. You are being paid to speak. You're being paid to speak, whether you're working at Target. If a customer or a manager or anybody asks you something, then you're actually being paid to have a conversation, and don't fill yourself in that moment. I apologize. I get a little worked up about this stuff. I know it's not always easy, but that's why we practice, so we don't lose it. With all this stupid stuff that has been going on for a few years, people have become nonverbal. I run a business. People will text me. They text a business. Hey, are you open for a consultation? It's like I text Macy's to ask if they had the nylons that I wanted. Nobody got back to me. So no, in a business, you call. And sometimes they'll do that and I'll instantly call them back and they're like, oh, you called me. Yeah, I'm a business professional. I run a business. So if you guys want to have a business, it's learning to use your voice. If you're wanting to get good service, it's utilizing your voice so that you can ask for what you want and get what you want back. And even in relationships, I don't know, I don't care, whatever you want. That's just throwing in the towel well before that moment deserved to me, a failure. Conversations are beautiful. They're deep. It really is intimacy. When I meet somebody that is really good in language, oh, my goodness sakes, I light up. And I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I met this one guy. We just went back and forth, and it was the most beautiful game of like tennis. And there's times where he would say, oh, give me a moment. I want to be articulate with you. Oh, yes, please. And then there's times where I would ask him and I would say, oh, may I ask you a question? And he's like, absolutely. His ears were perked and he was ready to actually listen to a conversation that he was interested in. If you want to get further in life, this is how you do it. If you want to have a stronger business, a stronger career, it's built on communication. If you want to be a solid parent, you know what I'm going to say, right? You know what I'm going to say. Conversation. Use your words. And then you'll actually teach your children, how to show up in the adult world. Because if you baby your children and do everything for them, when they come to me, I ain't going to baby them. I didn't birth them. I'm going to see them as individuals of whatever age they are, and I'm going to require that from them. And if parents didn't teach them, then they're going to fail quite often. Now, I raised two daughters alone, and they're adult women. And I had a friend over, and he traveled all over the United States to the highest colleges to recruit. So we're all talking. He's a business professional. I'm a business professional. My daughter that he knew, she came bebopping down the stairs, and he's like, "Oh, come sit with us." And after a few minutes, he's like, "You are more articulate than the Harvard, Stanford, Yale graduates that I interview." And she's like 14, and she's like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, let me ask you a question, because when you teach your children and or anybody, when you do this yourself, you're actually using your mind." So he said to her, "So here's a question. Tell me something about yourself." And she looked him dead in the eye and said, "Well, that's an easy question, because there's no right or wrong answer." And he's like, most of the time people will fail that because they haven't worked on themselves. They don't know how to, in language, have any emotional compass about themselves. So I am a life coach, energy healer, really passionate with what I do. And I want people to be able to show up. And it's really not about intelligence. It's not about education. It is about knowing who you are and being able to communicate, to be present, to hold space for somebody. I offer free consultations. So you're going to get a free consultation if you reach out to me. It's on Zoom. Can't be much easier than that. I have people all over the United States and beyond. And I'm exceptionally good at what I do, but I just want to go inside of your psyche and shake you up and say, "I believe in you, and I know you can do this, and I know you can do more, and prove it to yourself." So watch this a few times, please. Ask yourself if you can do more, if you can do better, and I know the answer is yes. And then again, if you need help, hello, I'm right here. And with all the different modalities that I have, I can shift patterns and stories, and I can actually really pinpoint why you're a little tongue-tied and reserved. And also, real fast, I don't want you to be sassy. I don't want you to be arrogant. It has nothing to do with that. I can talk to an 8-year-old. I can talk to an 80-year-old and anything between, because I understand communication. So this isn't going to be about being arrogant. It's just actually being able to like yourself enough so that people can kind of like you and notice you and want to be around you and feel the benefits of your presence and you with them. So enough rambling. I'm Diane at Healing Bodies, Healing Souls. I've got the website. I've got the internet. I'm all dialed in, of course. And I'd like to help you advance who you are. Because in this world, the ones that know how to communicate, they go far in life. And I want to help you if you need help. So thank you.